This is so much more than just another kitchen gadget. Vacuum sealing has quietly become one of my biggest kitchen obsessions, and honestly, it might be one of the most useful tools you're probably not taking advantage of. It's simple, but it can seriously cut food waste, make cooking much easier, and give you way more control over how you store and handle your meals. For a lot of people, there's a bit of a mental block. It sounds technical, maybe even unnecessary, but by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use a vacuum sealer and why it can completely change the way you handle food at home. I want to jump straight into the good stuff, but first, let's quickly talk about what vacuum sealing actually is, because once you understand that, everything else makes way more sense. Vacuum sealing extends shelf life for a few key reasons. First, it slows oxidation. Oxygen reacts with food in ways that lower quality even when bacteria aren't involved. It turns fats rancid, brown fruits and vegetables like apples and avocados, and causes meats to lose their color. It also breaks down certain nutrients, especially more delicate vitamins. Second, removing air slows most of the microbes that cause spoilage, since most of them need oxygen to grow. Not all microbes need oxygen though, so you still have to store things properly in the fridge or freezer. Vacuum sealing helps, but it's not a substitute for proper temperature control. And finally, it protects against freezer burn and dehydration. Freezer burn happens when ice on the surface of the food turns into vapor and escapes into the freezer. That tight seal removes air pockets so moisture can't escape, keeps natural juices locked in, and slows the formation of large ice crystals that damage texture. When sealed and stored properly, food can last about 3 to 5 times longer than with regular packaging. Something that might normally keep for 6 months in the freezer can often last a couple of years when vacuum sealed correctly. Vacuum sealers come in a range of designs and prices, but for most home cooks, the one that makes the most sense is an external suction sealer. I picked this one up on Amazon for about $30, but they can go up to $200 or more depending on features. I'll leave a link in the description. At their core, vacuum sealers really only need to do two things well. First, they need to remove air quickly and consistently. Second, they need to seal the bag properly. There's a heating element that fuses the plastic together, and a strong seal is what prevents leaks and failed bags. Some machines have a double seal feature, but you can always just run a second seal if you want that extra insurance. So when you're choosing a sealer, those are the big priorities: good suction, a reliable seal, and of course overall durability. After that, the extra features just make life easier. A moist and dry mode helps depending on what you're sealing. A pulse or manual function lets you control how much air you pull, which is great for softer foods like fruit or bread so they don't get crushed. A built-in cutter is also nice. It saves time and gives you straight edges for a better seal. And cleaning matters more than people think. This one has a small recess that catches liquid, so I just wipe it out and sanitize. A vacuum sealer is the perfect place for microbes to chill out if you ignore it. That's really all the essentials. Everything else is just convenience. Some models store the bag roll inside, have quieter motors, auto detection, and even smart features. Mine is pretty bare bones and it's on the cheaper end, but it does its job well, and that's all I need. I'm not a big fan of gadgets that get used once or twice and take up space. This is not one of those. If I had to guess, it's already saved me way more than I paid for it, and it's only been a few months. So, who actually needs a vacuum sealer? If you cook often, it's a great way to keep ingredients fresh before you use them and keep leftovers at peak quality after you're done. It's perfect for bulk shoppers too. You're already saving money by buying more at once. Vacuum sealing just gives you a way to store all that extra food so it actually lasts. Meal preppers benefit a lot as well. You can make more food at once and store it for much longer without worrying about quality dropping off. It's also great for gardeners. If you've ever had a harvest coming all at once, you know how hard it can be to use everything in time. This just gives you breathing room. And honestly, it's useful for anyone just trying to cut down on waste and save a bit of money. So chances are, if you spend any real time in the kitchen, this probably applies to you. Now that you know why you need a vacuum sealer, let's talk about how to actually use it. You'll need your vacuum sealer and some vacuum bags. Bags come in different forms, usually with one textured side. That texture helps the air escape when you pull a vacuum. Now, you can grab standard pre-cut bags, they work fine, but if your food is small, you can waste a lot of bag. Cut the bag too small and suddenly you've got pieces of bags you can't really use. That's why I prefer rolls. You can measure and cut exactly the size you need with the slide cutter. Seal one end and fill it up. Always leave a little extra bag at the top. It helps with getting a proper vacuum and seal. Next, place the bag lip inside the sealer chamber. Make sure it's lined up. Close the lid. My machine clicks when it's ready. From here, you have a few options. Dry or moist, depending on the food. You can either press vacuum and seal, which does everything automatically, or use the pulse function to manually control the vacuum. Perfect for soft foods like sandwiches so they don't get crushed. Be careful not to seal anything that might puncture the bag. Whole shrimp, lobster, and some cuts of meat do just that. There are fixes for this, however. First, you can get a bone guard. These are thick sheets of plastic that go between the food and the bag. We can also wrap the food in cling wrap or paper towel, or double bag it, rotating the first bag 90 degrees inside the second for a stronger seal. And that's it. That's pretty much most of what you need to get started with vacuum sealing. Vacuum sealing extends the shelf life of pretty much everything. Spices like cinnamon, cloves, allspice, and peppercorn stay fresher for much longer sealed. I love to vacuum seal my extra flour. Without air, moisture, and the fact that pests can't get in, this can last a couple of years instead of a few months, especially if you freeze it. If you have the freezer space, you could buy a 50-pound bag and portion it out for the year. Dried peas and beans also last significantly longer after sealing. And if you want even more convenience, you can cook them up first, portion them out, seal them, and just start when you need a quick dish. I also seal my spice blends, they last a lot longer. You can also reseal like what I do with these. Green season works great too. You could freeze them in cubes or smaller packages for more flexibility, but these are just my bulk batches. These salted saltfish get sealed into single meal portions, so I only open what I need. And this is where it really starts to change how you shop. Really nothing is off limits. As long as I'm not using it within a day or two, I vacuum seal it. Another incredible function vacuum sealers have is shortening marination time. When you seal meat with marinade, there are no air pockets or dry spots. Everything is pressed tightly against the surface. That full contact helps the flavor move in much faster. What would normally take overnight can be done in about an hour. But marinating faster is only half the story. Once the food is sealed like this, you've opened the door to one of the most precise ways to cook anything: sous vide. Sous vide is cooking food gently and precisely in a temperature controlled water bath to get consistent results. A lot of fine dining restaurants use it to get food perfect every single time. I don't do much sous vide, but let's get into one of the most practical use cases that takes advantage of everything we've talked about so far. Produce prices dropped like a rock recently. That happens from time to time for a variety of reasons, but let's talk about how to take advantage of that and save some real money. The biggest issue with buying fresh produce is that they are perishable. Regardless of how cheap they are, you can only buy so much without ending up with a ton of spoilage. But there is a solution. Tomato prices fell so hard, you could get them for as low as $50 a pound. When tomatoes are dirt cheap like this, the best move is to turn them into something versatile. tomato sauce. You can use it in stews, on pizzas, pasta dishes, chilies, meat sauce, and even like ketchup in certain dishes. The list is endless. That's about 4 pounds of plummy tomatoes. The nice thick meaty variety that's perfect for sauce. When I make sauce in bulk, I like to keep it fairly simple so it stays versatile. That gives me a lot of room to adjust it later because I will be using it for a wide variety of stuff. I score and blanch my tomatoes just so I can easily remove the skin. Once peeled, I place my pot on medium heat and add a big splash of oil. I'm adding about 4 heads of peeled garlic. Saute until fragrant and just starting to brown. Then add a cup of tomato paste. That just deepens the tomato flavor. Cook that tomato paste off for a couple of minutes, then add all the peeled tomatoes. I'm also adding 2 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce. They're on a 2-for-1 deal at the supermarket. Probably because they're not the tastiest, but they help to really bulk up our homemade version. Rinse the cans out with a little water and add that. Can't be wasting any flavor. For seasoning, I'm using 3 or 4 tablespoons of complete seasoning and a couple pinches of salt. I'm really just eyeballing it. I'm also adding about a tablespoon of dried pimento or allspice. This is not typical for tomato sauce, but I love the depth it adds. Simmer for maybe 45 minutes, then cool completely. I've got fresh basil outside, so I'm adding it once the sauce has cooled. Fresh basil really loses that bright flavor if you cook it too long. This is where I taste and adjust to make sure the flavor is right. Now, I could vacuum seal this as is. But what if your vacuum sealer doesn't handle liquid too well? A lot of external suction sealers don't. So, here's the workaround. Freeze it first. I use silicone freezer molds for portioning. They make freezing really easy. I will leave a link for these in the description. Once frozen, we can pop them out of the molds and vacuum seal them. You could leave them as big frozen cubes, they would last forever in the freezer. But big blocks like this are horrible for storage. This is where vacuum sealing really shines. Thaw the frozen cubes slightly, then press it flat. Instead of bulky cubes, we now have flat packages that we can stack like paper. That's the same amount of tomato sauce, but look how much better we handle the space after flattening. So let's sum up what just happened and put it into perspective so we can see how we actually save money. We bought tomatoes when they were dirt cheap, turned them into a ton of versatile sauce that I'll use regularly in my meals. I ended up making 3 similar batches and got around 20 cups of sauce. All of that cost me around $1,700. I left some in the fridge, gave some away, made chili with some, and I still have enough to last more than 6 months depending on how often I use it. That's real value. No, that's tomatoes, but not all vegetables make good sauce. What if I just wanted veggies for a quick saute? That brings me to green beans or string beans and carrot. The prices of these also fell sharply recently, and although we won't be making sauce with these, we can still store them long term by vacuum sealing. No, we could simply clean these and vacuum seal them fresh. Even sealing vegetables fresh extends their shelf life 3 to 5 times. But what I love to do is clean and prep them properly. Blanch them for a few minutes in salted boiling water. Blanching helps to preserve the texture and color. Cool them down quickly with an ice bath. After that, I make sure to remove as much water as possible before vacuum sealing. Leaving them on a rack in the fridge to drain usually does the trick. Excess water can mess with your seal and affect the texture once frozen. Once properly drained, we can vacuum seal these before popping them in the freezer. You can seal them individually for flexibility or mix them based on your meal plan. But either way, they can easily last for over a year in the freezer. Now, imagine buying a year's supply of vegetables when prices are at their lowest. That's some real savings. Whenever I want veggies as a side, I grab a bag, thaw it, give it a quick stir fry with a little seasoning, and that's it. Excellent flavor, excellent texture. With the sauce done, the veggies prepped, and everything sealed away flat in the freezer, cooking during the week feels completely different. I'm not starting from scratch anymore. Most of the work is already done. Instead of thinking, what am I going to cook? It's more like, what am I grabbing today? You can prep entire meals or just components ahead of time. Store them in the fridge or freezer and pull them out whenever you need a quick dinner that tastes just as fresh as the day you made it. Pair vacuum sealing with tools like silicone molds and suddenly meal prep becomes almost effortless. Portioning, freezing, and storing is simple, efficient, and keeps everything organized. Want pasta? The sauce is ready. Need a quick side dish? The veggies are good to go. Making chili? Half the base is already done before I even turn on the stove. Because everything is stocked and visible, nothing gets buried, nothing goes bad, and waste drops to almost zero. Vacuum sealing didn't change how I cook, it changed how I prepare. It lets me buy in bulk with confidence, stretch my grocery budget, and still make fresh meals. Honestly, it's one of those tools that pays for itself in no time. So, why you still await? Grab one, start sealing, and see how it changes everything in your kitchen. I'm Nick, and this has been delicious. Shout out to our patrons who keep the kitchen cooking. Thank you for watching. Bless up, and I'll catch you in the next one.